Well, we shift gears here. We've got the percentages given, and I'm going to do a couple in a row here because I want to see the contrast in them back to back. So we're going to do a couple tree diagrams here. Zara, depends on how well you know her, will either join the softball or track team this spring. So we know that we're splitting something off into two branches, okay? And usually, okay, well, we should label that. We've got softball or track, all right? So we've got softball or track. If she joins the softball team. Now, it doesn't give us a probability of that. It does say 70% chance, but this is where reading comes in handy. Okay? If she joins softball, she has 70% chance of doing something else. Okay? It's either softball or track. We've established that. We've not established the probability of either, but we don't know the probability of either. And in fact, if you keep reading, if she joins softball, we have some breakdown. If she joins track, she's got some other chance of making varsity. So it boils down beyond softball and track if she's going to make varsity or not. Ultimately, it says that the probability that she joins track and does not make varsity is 54%. We'll have to label that branch. It's one branch out of all of them. The question boils down to then the probability that she joins softball. So we're really looking for that little circle there. Okay? So don't try and put something in there at the beginning because we don't know what it is. And we'd be making things up. And we'll probably not get the right answer. So let's go beyond, and it says 70% chance of making varsity if she joins softball. So we've got varsity and varsity not. Okay? Now, the probabilities attached to these are in fact given. So there's a 0.7, and over here is a 0.3, because the two of those have to add up to 100%. If she joins track, she only has 10% chance of making varsity. She's not very fast, but boy, she's got power. She's going to hit like the Dickens. So this is a 0.1, and this is a 0.9. Okay, 10% chance of making varsity, and 90% chance of not making varsity. Well, again, we got to find out which. This is overkill, by the way. This basically identifies a single path. That single path is adds up to 54, or actually multiplies to get 54. Joins track does not make varsity. Joins track, so we're looking at this path here and not making varsity. The outcome there is 0.54. So the question then becomes, well, what times 0.9 is 0.54? Well, hopefully we know our times tables, and we know that that's a 0.6. Okay, because 0.6 times 0.9 is 0.54. Well, if that's 0.6, then this over here is 0.4, because again, each decision, if there's only two options, have to add up to 100%. Question ultimately is, what's the probability she joined softball? Well, that's what we were originally looking for. It's 0.4. Some like to call it 40%. Either one is correct. When we get down to this, we got Zed here and his dog. He's 45% sure his dog has fleas. And then it goes on to talk about if he does have fleas, this. If he doesn't have fleas, then this other thing. Then what's the probability, blah, blah, blah. Same thing, we start off with two options, okay? Either the dog has fleas or the dog doesn't have fleas. F prime, okay? Now, it does say that he's 45% sure he's got fleas, which means he's only 55% sure that he doesn't, all right? If he has fleas, he's 90% likely to have an allergy attack tonight, okay? So, don't know how they're connected, but I'm just looking at the numbers here, people. Okay, allergy, or attack not. The A was conveniently working with both. We got a 0.9 here, and we got a 0.1 here. Okay, we split this one off. If he doesn't have fleas, he's only 6% likely to have an allergy attack. Please, people, when you see 6%, don't put a 0.6. Should be 0.06. Okay, so there's the allergy attack not. If it's not 0.06, it's 0.94. Hopefully, if you didn't catch it the first time, you would catch it there. Now, question then is, what is the probability that Zed doesn't have an allergy attack tonight? Well, that is going to be the sum total of two paths. That's this path here and this path here, because he can have an allergy attack whether his dog has fleas or not. Okay, so if you multiply 0.45 times 0.1, you're just moving the decimal point over one more place, 0.045. And if you are multiplying 0.55 times 0.94, well, I'm not that good. 0.4, oopsies, 55 times 0.94. That's 0.517. And while it's right here, if I simply add that to 0.045, I get 0.562. That's the area code we live in. That's the answer to the question, my people.